Hello and a very warm welcome back to Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm your host, Lisa, and it's wonderful to have you with me today. I'll never forget the first time I attended a major international business conference. As an entrepreneur, I was there to network, to connect, to find opportunities. I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, standing in a large hall filled with influential people. I saw a prominent figure I'd wanted to meet, the CEO of an innovative tech company, standing alone for a moment by a large window. This was my chance. I walked over, my heart pounding, my mind racing through all the clever business-related opening lines I had prepared. But when I got there, I looked out the window at the sky, which had suddenly turned a dramatic, dark gray. Without thinking, I just said, "Wow, it looks like we're in for a storm." He turned, smiled, and replied, "It certainly does. I hope it holds off until after the evening reception." I forgot my umbrella, and just like that, the ice was broken. We spent the next 2 minutes talking about the unpredictable spring weather, which then naturally flowed into a conversation about his company, my project, and a potential collaboration. That small, simple exchange about the weather became the bridge to one of the most important professional connections I've ever made. It taught me a profound lesson. Talking about the weather in English is not just small talk. It's not just filling silence. It is a powerful, universal tool for connection. It's a shared, immediate experience that can open the door to much deeper conversations. It's the social glue that binds strangers together, even for a moment. So, in today's episode, we are going to master the art of talking about the weather like a native. We'll go far beyond it's sunny and it's rainy. We'll explore the rich, descriptive, and idiomatic language that English speakers use every single day to describe the sky above them and, in doing so, to connect with the people around them. Are you ready to unlock this essential social skill? Let's begin. First, let's understand why talking about the weather is so deeply ingrained in English-speaking cultures, particularly in places like the United Kingdom, Ireland, and parts of North America. In many of these places, the weather is famously changeable. You can genuinely experience all 4 seasons in a single day. This constant flux makes it a perpetually relevant and interesting topic. But more importantly, it's a safe and neutral subject. You can talk about the weather with anyone: your boss, a new client, the person next to you in a queue, or a new acquaintance at a party without any risk of causing offense. It's the ultimate icebreaker. Now, let's elevate your weather vocabulary. We'll start with the sun. The basic word is sunny, but a native speaker has a whole spectrum of words. On a perfect, pleasant day, you might hear, "It's a beautiful day out, isn't it?" Or "It's absolutely glorious today." When the sun is very strong and hot, especially during a heat wave, you'll hear more intense words. You could say, "It's scorching out there," or "It's a real scorcher today." Another common word for very hot and uncomfortably humid weather is sweltering. You might say, "I can't believe how sweltering it is this week." Conversely, if there are no clouds at all, you can describe the sky. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's just perfect. Now, let's talk about rain. Rainy is fine, but it doesn't capture the different ways rain can fall. For very light rain, you can say, "It's just drizzling," or "It's spitting a little." If the rain becomes heavier and more steady, you'd say, "It's really starting to come down now," or "It's pouring outside." And for a truly intense, heavy rainfall, English has some wonderfully dramatic phrases. You might exclaim, "It's absolutely bucketing down." Or listen to that rain. It's a real downpour. Let's practice one of those more descriptive phrases. Imagine a beautiful, perfect day. Repeat after me with a happy, bright tone. "It's absolutely glorious today. Isn't it fantastic?" Using a tag question like "isn't it" is a very common way to invite the other person to agree and start a conversation. Let's continue building our vocabulary. What about the wind? A light, pleasant wind is called a breeze. You might say, "The breeze is lovely. It really takes the edge off the heat." But when the wind is strong and gusty, you can say, "It's quite blustery today," or simply, "Wow, it's really windy." For very powerful, potentially dangerous wines, you'd use stronger terms like gale force wines. And what about those gray days when the sky is completely covered in clouds? The word is overcast. You can say, "It's been overcast all day." I don't think we'll see the sun at all. An overcast sky can often create a certain mood, which you can describe as gloomy or dreary. For example, "This dreary weather makes me just want to stay inside with a good book." Temperature is another key element. Instead of just hot or cold, try using more nuanced words. For mild cold, you can say, "It's a bit chilly this morning," or "There's a nip in the air." When it's properly cold, you'd say, "It's freezing out there." Make sure you bundle up. For hot weather, we've already mentioned scorching. But what about that sticky, uncomfortable heat? The perfect word is muggy or humid. You could say, "It's not just the heat, it's the humidity." It's so muggy today. Now that you have this rich vocabulary, how do you use it in conversation? Let's look at asking about the weather. The standard question is, "What's the weather like?" To sound a bit more natural, you could ask, "What's it like out there?" Or "What's the forecast for this weekend?" A forecast is the prediction of future weather. A very common technique, as we saw earlier, is to make a statement and add a tag question. This is less like a direct question and more like an invitation to chat. For example, "Lovely day, isn't it? Looks like rain, doesn't it? A bit chilly today, eh?" This is very common in Canada. Once the conversation has started, you can connect the weather to your feelings or plans. This makes the conversation more personal. For example, you could say, "I love this kind of weather. It just makes me feel so energetic." "I'm not a fan of this gloom. It makes me feel a bit lethargic." This is perfect weather for a hike. We should take advantage of it. "Well, I guess our plans for a barbecue are off, thanks to this downpour." This is where you move from simply observing the weather to sharing a small piece of your life, which is the whole point of small talk. Let's practice one of those conversational starters. Imagine you see dark clouds gathering. Repeat after me. "Looks like rain, doesn't it?" Excellent. It's friendly, observational, and a perfect way to initiate a chat. Finally, to truly sound like a native, you can sprinkle in some of the many English idioms related to weather. These are phrases where the meaning isn't literal. Using them correctly is a sure sign of an advanced speaker. 1. Under the weather. This is probably the most common. It means you feel sick or unwell. "I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I'm going to work from home, too." A storm in a teacup. This describes a situation where people are making a big fuss or getting very angry about something that is actually very minor. Honestly, their argument was just a storm in a teacup. They'll have forgotten about it by tomorrow. 3. Every cloud has a silver lining. This beautiful idiom means that there is something good to be found in every bad situation. "I was disappointed to lose my job, but every cloud has a silver lining. Now I can start my own business, which is what I've always wanted to do. As an entrepreneur, you know this feeling well." 4. Come rain or shine. This means you will do something regardless of the circumstances or any difficulties. He goes for a run every morning, come rain or shine. 5. To be on cloud nine. This means to be extremely happy or euphoric. She's been on cloud nine ever since she got engaged. 6. Saving for a rainy day. This means saving money for a time in the future when you might unexpectedly need it. It's always wise to have an emergency fund, saving for a rainy day. And that brings us to the end of our exploration of weather talk. It's so much more than just a simple observation. It's a key, a bridge, a shared human experience captured in language. Let's cement that understanding with our affirmations. Please say them with me, feeling the confidence grow. I can describe the weather with rich and descriptive language. I use conversations about the weather to connect with people. I understand and can use common English weather idioms. I am a confident and natural conversationalist. Let's repeat them one more time, embracing the feeling of being a skilled communicator. I can describe the weather with rich and descriptive language. I use conversations about the weather to connect with people. I am a confident and natural conversationalist. That concludes episode 31 of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I am so proud of the way you are embracing not just the words, but the culture of the English language. Your task for this week is simple and enjoyable. I want you to initiate one conversation about the weather every day. With the person at the coffee shop, a colleague, a friend. Use one of the new phrases you learned today. Try a tag question. The goal is not to have a long conversation, but simply to practice breaking the ice. Notice how people respond. See what doors it opens. Thank you for your time and your focus today. Until we meet again, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep shining. Bye for now.